Hey everyone, Mr. Sujano here, your source for gaming, tech, emulation, and open source news. Let's get started. Alright, to kick things off, yes, no surprise, I'm camping again. It's an absolutely gorgeous day outside, although it is just a little bit chilly for the middle of July, which is really weird. And I've got a whole bunch of news for you. Alright, we'll kick things off talking about Nintendo Switch emulation on Android with Pine. Now, I haven't had a chance to test this one out yet. We talked about this one the other day. And unfortunately, someone seems to have had a major problem when compiling this app. So Nintendo claims that after compiling this, the security on their Windows 11 PC went absolutely nuts. And then they lost 95% of their online presence. I guess everything that had a password stored in the browser was compromised. To be honest with you, I don't know the validity of this one. However, I have not had the opportunity to check Pine out just yet. I've been pretty busy. I have my Steam Deck with me, but I haven't compiled the emulator and tried it out yet. If you've seen the source code, if you've got any feedback here, let me know in the comments below, because I'd rather people be aware as opposed to not. Now, it's worth pointing out that this is the only instance I've heard about this, but if it is real, I'd want to know about it, and if it isn't real, I'd also want to know about it. Moving on, and we're talking about Unknown 9 Awakening from Bandai Namco. Now, Bandai Namco has previously delayed this game, if I'm not mistaken, and has just released an 8-minute long trailer. I'll drop a link to the trailer in the description below, and feel free to check it out. One of the big things after looking at this trailer is that the game, to me, I don't know if it's just me or if it's other people as well, but the game looks like it could use a lot of work. Now, apparently the game is releasing this fall, so maybe they have some time to polish things up, but I'll drop a link to the trailer in the description below, and I do recommend checking it out. And let me know your thoughts about it. I mean, the motions on this one, the strafing, everything just seemed unpolished. And speaking about games, next up we're talking about a brand new indie game that's about to release in just a few days on July 25th. It's called Abathor. I think we've talked about this one on this channel before. It's a Golden Axe type of game. It's 2D, it's pixel art, and I think it looks pretty good. There's a demo of it already available on Steam if you wanted to check this out, and I'll drop a link to it in the description below. Let me know your thoughts on games like this. And speaking about pixel art, next up we're talking about a brand new game that was just announced by Arc System Works. And this one is called River City Saga: Three Kingdoms Next. They just dropped a trailer over on YouTube. I'll drop a link to it in the description below. This one is coming out on November 7th of this year and is coming out for PC, Switch, and PS4. Moving on, and this one may interest you if you're on mobile. We're talking about Need for Speed Underground 2, the mobile port of it. And the mobile port of this game was just preserved over on archive.org. Now, surprisingly, quite a bit has been preserved. There's a tech demo, there's a beta of this, and the actual release version. Unfortunately, though, not everything works. There were some online elements to this game that depended on online servers. And that stuff, like the body shop and whatnot, do not work. But the rest of the game apparently does. Moving on, and we're talking about a super weird ROM hack, and one that I find very fascinating, is absolutely crazy, and actually pretty well executed. And that's Super Mario in Donkey Kong Country as a playable character. Now, I'm not joking with you here. This one is 100% real, and I'll drop a link to the ROM hacking page in the description below, and I do recommend checking it out. This one is crazy because it's not just a simple ROM hack, not just a simple sprite switch. They actually implemented Super Mario using Donkey Kong physics and tweaked the levels and even the music. I mean, Yoshi makes an appearance, there's coin blocks, there's mushrooms, there's Mario's powers. This one is wild, and I can't get over the physics. They're bonkers. And speaking about hacking, next up we're talking about Empress, and it turns out that Empress may be back. Empress reportedly left the scene of hacking back in 2023 and now apparently is back. Now, for those who may not be aware, Empress is very well known for cracking video games and anti-piracy software. And it makes me wonder if companies like Denuvo are shaking in their boots knowing that Empress is back on the scene. And speaking about coming back, you know what's not coming back? Halo. Apparently the Halo TV show has been canceled after 2 seasons. And unfortunately, I haven't actually seen the full season of Halo yet. It's one of those shows that I've dabbled in a little bit, but I just haven't had the time to sit down and go through the entire thing. If you have, let me know your thoughts about it in the comments below. and let me know your thoughts about this show being cancelled in the comments below. Now, if you are a fan of the Halo show, not all hope is lost just yet. It's reported that they will be shopping this around in hopes that someone else is going to be picking it up. But moving on, and next up we're talking about Atari 2600 emulation with Gopher 2600, which is an Atari 2600 emulator written in Go. And it turns out that Gopher 2600 is switching to maintenance mode. I'll drop a link to the note in the description below in the event that you did want to check it out. The developer of this, it's just a single developer, wants to move on to different projects. They've been working on this one for some time, which I find completely understandable. I'm very curious to see what they get up to next. Now, it is worth pointing out that Gopher 2600 isn't necessarily dead. It's still going to get maintenance updates. If you use Gopher 2600, let me know your thoughts about it in the comments below, and let me know your thoughts about it going into maintenance mode. And last up here, we're talking about Obsidio, which is an exorcism and kind of horror game that was released back in 2021 in early access. This one has mixed reviews over on Steam. A lot of people have complained that the project is abandoned. However, it turns out it was very much not abandoned. The developer of this one has a very long post on Steam, and I'll drop a link to it in the description below. But basically, they say they rewrote the entire game in Unreal Engine as opposed to using Unity. So the developer says on this one, the rewrite in Unreal Engine 5 has improved a whole bunch of stuff. There's performance improvements, the game has been revamped, there's a new leveling system, and even more. So if you've purchased this one, previously played it, and then forgotten about it, you may want to recheck this one out and see if there's any improvements. And the next thing the developer is working on for this one is adding in modding support, which I think would add a lot of different elements to this game. But anyways, that is all I've got for you in this one. Straight to the point, all stuff and no fluff. I did see a deer earlier on in this video, but unfortunately I wasn't fast enough to capture it on camera. So yes, there's no fluff in this one. We talked about a bunch today. Let me know your thoughts about absolutely any of it in the comments below. If you liked this video, leave a like. If you didn't like this video, leave a like. Hit that subscribe button, check out my other videos. Don't tempt fate, save your state.